Man, Devin, you shouldn't be letting people force you to do things like that. Sometimes you got to stand up on your own too and be like, F it. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. And if you got a problem with it, F you. Treat me the same as you do everybody else. Period. And stand on your own too. If that means you get backlash, if that means that people trash on you, disrespect you, so be it. But you stand there on your own too like a man. And you don't curl up the way that he did. You know what I mean? It's all about the comments that he made, I guess. He was talking about Lomachenko saying, ain't no white boy gonna beat me. You know what I'm saying? And people got into this big, huge uproar because he said that. And, he basically ended up coming out and apologizing for his statements. But this is the thing, though. When it comes to the boxing community, when it comes to these writers, when it comes to everybody that's so outraged, where was his outrage when it came to Kovalev and the things that he was saying? Calling people pieces of ish and calling people monkeys and things of that nature. Where was all that outrage? Everybody was quiet when it came to that. When it came to the people that Oscar De La Hoya was working with and the things that they called Al Heyman, where was all the outrage then? No one said anything. Everybody was quiet about it. Everybody was quiet about it. No one cared then. No one cared. When it came to Freddie Roach with Ellie Seckback and Garcia, when he called, put out, anti-Semitic, wordings and other things. Where was all the backlash from that? Where was all this outrage when it came to that? Where was it? It was nowhere to be seen. When it came to Conor McGregor and the things that he said, where was all the outrage? There was none. Everybody was quiet. No one said anything. But this kid says something that's nowhere near the level of what these guys said, and there's a problem. And it's ironically the same thing that Bernard Hopkins said. And there was no outrage then. But Bernard Hopkins was aligned with Oscar De La Hoya. So because he was aligned with Oscar De La Hoya, everybody just kept quiet about it. No one cared about it then. You can say it because you're under one of us. So that's okay. When it came to Barry Hearn and the comments that he put out there, where was the outrage? Where was the outrage? There was no outrage. No one cared. You know what I mean? No one cared. No one cared. Kind of like even with the domestic abuse thing with someone like a Floyd. Oh my gosh, he supposedly did this and that. It's the end of the world. He needs to be locked up. We need to talk about it every day. But Kovalev's over here beating the bricks out of dogs and waiting behind bushes and beating the bricks out of women. You know what I'm saying? He's physically assault. He's groping women on airports and stuff, and nothing. You don't have anything all quiet about it. So now you have this kid in Devin Haney who hasn't said or did anything close to the level of all those guys. Nothing close, but then all of a sudden there's all this outrage. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden he needs to apologize and all this other stuff. And what he should have done was say, nah, I'm not what y'all saying I am, but I'm serious about what I said. I'm not going to get beat by it, whatever. And that's just what it is, period. And if you have a problem with that, cool. I'll have cool, that's fine. But before you come at me, go at those same dudes with the same energy you're trying to come at me. You clearly must not care that much. You know what I'm saying? You must not care that much because what I said is nowhere near with the levels of what these people have said or done. You know what I mean? So what's exactly the difference between me and them? What is so different? Because what they've said is way more crazy than what I said. Way more crazy than what I said. What they did is way crazier than what I did. I haven't done anything. So where is this outrage when it comes to them? You got someone like a Conor McGregor that can, hijack a freaking bus, filled with people who are getting ready for a bout, so they're all depleted. You know what I mean? Just trying to, dehydrated, trying to just weigh in, and he can throw something into a giant object into a window, and it hurt people to the point where certain fighters couldn't fight that night. Glass going into people's eyes, cutting people's faces. He can do all that. He can be in a bar and knock out some old dude. And that's all cool. He can have all these kind of allegations of things that he's done in the United States and in Ireland with women. But that's all cool. No one says a word when it comes to that. He can cause a ruckus when it comes to the UFC events and cause big, huge brawls and fights. You know what I mean? He can knock out some other dude at another bar to the point where meetings had to be held because of somebody important where he might not made it through the damn weekend. He can do all of that stuff and no one says a word. It's all cool. It's all good. But Devin Haney says that and people lose their minds. People absolutely lose their minds and go crazy. Sometimes you got to sit back, and look at what's going on. Look at what's going on. Start looking, not only that, look at the people that you have surrounded around you, the people that you decided to align with. You aligned yourself with the man who, talked about, interconnect, what's it called? Basically like having almost like a slave trade thing going on. You know what I'm saying? His father talking about how they owned their fighters before. We owned them. They had to do what we had told them to do. Now I have to respect them and call them sir and stuff. That's who you decided to align yourself with. That's who you decided to align yourself with. And of course, when things like this happen, all of a sudden this fake outrage, that they're obviously telling you like, nah, you need to go. So you need to apologize. You need to apologize because you need to calm the masses. You need to calm them down. You know what I mean? You don't want to be seen as one of them because since you're aligned with him, hey, they're gonna be cool with you. Long as you stay in your place. Long as you stay in your place. And if that's the kind of person you want to be, then hey, teach his own, if that's what you want to be. But I would say for him to take a step back and look at your surroundings. Look at all the things all these other people have done. And all these people stay completely quiet. Then you say what you said. And all of a sudden, there's this big, huge ruckus. And why is that? Because we know that you're not what they're calling you. Everybody knows you're not that. They can't believe you're that. If they're cool with what these other people have been saying and doing, there's no way they can think that you're actually that. So what is it exactly? What separates you from the rest of them? You better open your eyes. Better open your eyes and look at your surroundings. And get into reality when it comes to you, your career, those who are there for you, those who really aren't there for you, and understand that, yeah, they like you now. But in order for them to continue liking you like that, are you going to be willing to stay in that box for your whole career and stay in that submissive position that they want you to be in? Choices you're going to have to make when it comes to your career. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.